All right, so let's talk about PayPal stock. And I know some of you guys out there are bullish, just like I am on PayPal stock long term. And then I also understand that there are a lot of you guys out there that are completely bearish on PayPal because, hey, I read my comments, guys. I see your comments down there in regards to PayPal stock and why you're so bearish on the stock. But I think we need to talk about a few things that are going to change your mind about PayPal stock. And don't worry, I got something for the bears. I got something for you guys as bulls too. And of course, I'll give you my take as well. So let's jump into all this right after you gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do if you like the truth without the hype. And guys, the sale for my group is ending this weekend and the price will never be this low again, especially with the addition of the stock analyzer tool and a lot of the other things that we have coming. So if you want to see all my buy and sell alerts in real time, see my watch list with price targets, you want to take 5 courses for free, you want to use that stock analyzer tool completely for free, you want to see the 3, 4, 5 videos a week that I post just in my group right there, you want direct access to me, slide into my DMs, jump on the live Q&As, talk to me directly. You can do all that right now with that sale, but just kind of keep in mind, guys, it's going to go away. And when the price goes up, it goes up forever. So make sure you're taking advantage of the sale right now. It's the pinned comment down there. Check out everything you get at least and see if it's right for you. Heck, worst case scenario, you try it out for a month and then you cancel and there's no hard feelings either way. So make sure you check it out. Now, don't worry, bulls. I got something for you guys here in just a second, but let's start with the bears. And I'm going to give you 3 things that might change your mind about PayPal stock. Let's start right there. And the first one is the actual valuation of the stock. Look, even if you're bearish on PayPal, you can't say the beatdown has been just not ridiculous this entire time. The beatdown has just been incredible. And in my mind, at least, absolutely not deserved. You need to look no further than just the valuation of the stock. It is trading well below, it's down basically at value levels at a period of time where value stocks are, basically a double or a triple the valuation of, what PayPal is doing there. And oh, by the way, PayPal is probably going to give you more growth into the future, even though we'll get the growth here in just a second. Basically, what I'm saying is from a valuation perspective, there's no real way to look at it and not say, wow, that valuation is stupid cheap. Now, it's not meta cheap, but man, it doesn't take but a good quarter or basically a little bit more of a beatdown, and you're basically getting really close to those meta type levels in regards to the valuation being so low. So for the bears out there, I understand where you're coming from, but if we're all being objective in regards to valuation, it is significantly undervalued at this stage. Number 2 would be the addition of the stablecoin and whatever the CEO has coming here in the future. I understand how much money they're going to make from a stablecoin, how successful it's going to be, and a lot of the regulation, all the other things along with that are a lot speculative there. But there's no doubt in my mind, it's not going to just fail, fall flat on its face, and end up costing PayPal more money. It's going to deliver more revenue, and I agree in terms of how much revenue. We'll have to wait and see on that. I don't want to speculate on that either. But in regards to it being something that's absolutely going to provide future growth that was not on the table, even just a few months ago, it absolutely is. And more importantly, the CEO with his background in terms of taking and what he pitched to the board, obviously in regards to taking on large, profitable acquisitions that absolutely boosted the bottom line from the quarter or for the company that he was a part of, there's no reason to think that he's not going to bring that same mentality, that same exact plan to PayPal. So there's a lot to be determined there. I mean, these acquisitions could make PayPal leaner. They could be huge growth revenue generators in the future. They could actually make them more profitable in the future as well, going for some very, very high margin products. The point I'm trying to make here is you're right. They may not all work out. And maybe some of them work out, maybe all of them work out. We don't really know. But the point being, as opposed to in the past where PayPal was just kind of happy, just kind of adding on a thing here, adding on a thing there, and I don't want to call it slow growth, but basically moving very, very slowly, I think we're going to see a much more aggressive CEO and a much more aggressive PayPal where they're going to go for it. If nothing else, they're going to go for it, and they're not going to stand by with just the same old status quo. And number 3, the competitors are not taking from PayPal so far, at least from what we've seen in the past quarter. Despite Apple Pay absolutely having a great launch, the facts are PayPal didn't take a huge hit to the bottom line like everybody was predicting. They actually grew. So to me, that signals that Apple Pay is taking from, basically legacy banks, 1. 2, they drew in a lot of customers like myself who don't use PayPal, don't use any of those products at all, but they're trying out that type product, that digital type product for the first time because it's under the Apple umbrella, which is where I thought the vast majority of the Apple users were going to come. It wasn't going to be people crossing over from, using PayPal to now they're going to use Apple Pay. I thought the vast majority of their users are going to be new folks to that type of currency, that type of, transaction altogether. And so far, that's exactly what's played out. Now it's only 1 quarter. I understand that could change. But there was a giant narrative out there that, oh my gosh, Apple Pay is just going to, eat all of their lunches. And that just hasn't played out at least yet in regards to this. So For me, I'm not saying they got no users from, PayPal or anything else like that at all. Absolutely not. But obviously the amount was very, very nominal in regards to the growth. So either the growth engine's totally kicked in and totally, taken off to another level, despite the fact Apple Pay took a bunch of users, or it's just basically exactly as we just described. Apple Pay is pulling from a lot of other places and very, very little from PayPal. So those right now are the facts that are there in the actual documents in the earnings. But again, it is early, so we'll wait and see on that one, but it's absolutely something for the bears to consider. All right, so over to the bulls, and let's talk about the 3 things that absolutely might change your mind about PayPal stock in regards to being bullish on the stock. The first is it is a possible value trap. I'm not going to say it's impossible. So let's actually define value trap first here, and I'm going to throw it up there on the screen for you guys. But it's basically value traps are investments that are trading at such low levels and present as a buying opportunities for investors, but they are actually misleading. For a value trap investment, the low price is often accompanied by extended periods of low multiples as well. And a value trap is a poor investment because the reason for the low price and low multiples is the company is experiencing financial instability and has little growth potential. So obviously to me, although we're not meeting all those metrics there in that definition, we absolutely are, trying to figure out, is basically growth going to go down, or is it going to stagnate, or are we going to see growth continue to, gain traction and move forward and continue to grow as it has grown in the past and where it will grow in the future. That's kind of the big thing to me to determine whether or not a value trap is going to happen. And a lot of times when you think about value traps, you're thinking about old man style stocks, legacy type industries, and PayPal's not in a legacy type industry. It's in a growing industry, in a future industry. The future of money is digital, whether we all like it or not, or regardless of any of the other, all the other narratives out there. That's where money's going. And therefore, that total addressable market is growing. So there is potential for them to grow into that, in addition to a lot of the other growth factors that they're working on and a lot of other markets that are relatively new that they're just now tapping into that have huge, TAMs over time. So to me, I don't feel it falls into that value trap. However, that's something we absolutely have to pay attention to, because if they're not able to get that growth engine running, then it's absolutely going to fall firmly into that value trap category. Which leads perfectly into the second point, which is growth is actually slowing for now. I can't say it's not, guys. The numbers don't lie. Go and look at them for yourselves. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. The numbers aren't lying. They are seeing growth actually slow. But moving into things like actually being on the physical terminal payment systems, which is a brand new market for them, and a lot of the branchy activities kind of basically switching from white label over to the PayPal label, which of course brings much higher margins and is just, to me, it's just a better product overall. And it's going to mean a lot more to PayPal long term and brings a lot of, instead of it being white label, brings a lot of credibility, if I could remember the word. It brings a lot of credibility to whoever is using that particular service. That to me is going and could potentially be a huge growth driver for PayPal moving forward, in addition to a lot of the other things we've already talked about in this video here. But again, we're talking about future things. And for right now today, I can't say the stock is, basically the growth has not slowed, because it absolutely has slowed. So as a bull, you have to consider that, reality of what's going on with the stock right now. And number 3, despite that slowing growth, they can absolutely turn this ship around. So basically an increase in net income, which can come a lot of different ways, and an increase in those share buybacks, which they're already actively doing and going to continue to do, could absolutely mean a lot to the stock in terms of where the value goes long term, even if that multiple stays low and even if the growth basically stalls or doesn't really go anywhere. And more importantly, that's still a way for us to get money out of PayPal and have it be a decent return on investment, over a 3 to 5 year horizon, despite the fact that basically we're saying everything that they're trying is not going to pan out. So we're kind of worst case scenarioing it here. And even in the worst case scenario, given where their financials are and given how they actually operate the business, it is possible that we could still see a nice little run up in the stock. So basically there is a way for the stock price to grow without any of those growth factors to come into. And that's something that not a lot of bulls talk about. Now, that obviously kills the case for this to be a 5x or 10x or something like that, or whatever the heck narrative is out there. I don't really look at those type things. I definitely don't make investments based upon those type things. But the point being, there is a way for this stock to actually increase value for shareholders, and which of course eventually will turn into an increase in share price for us to make some money on the back end. So those right there are some things that the bulls typically don't think about, or I don't hear discussed a lot, that could absolutely still push the stock price up in the event we don't actually see the growth that we think could come from a lot of the new initiatives that are out there for PayPal. So for me personally, my thoughts on this stock are, I'm still holding it. I'm still going to continue to add shares, even though I have a full position. I have actually more than a full position. But for me, it is still one of the best values out there, even if we don't get the growth, even if we don't get a lot of other things that we think are coming for PayPal. I still think in terms of risk reward, this is one of the best risk reward stocks out there in the stock market. So for me, I'm going to continue to strategically add as part of my, modified DCA. And I have a full position. I have more than a full position, but as my portfolio continues to grow each month, it allows me more room to add more PayPal to the bottom line there. So I'm going to continue to do that long term. And guys, the sale for my group is ending this weekend and the price will never be this low again, especially with the addition of the stock analyzer tool and a lot of the other things that we have coming. So if you want to see all my buy and sell alerts in real time, see my watch list with price targets, you want to take 5 courses for free, you want to use that stock analyzer tool completely for free, you want to see the 3, 4, 5 videos a week that I post just in my group right there, you want direct access to me, slide into my DMs, jump on the live Q&As, talk to me directly. You can do all that right now with that sale, but just kind of keep in mind, guys, it's going to go away. And when the price goes up, it goes up forever. So make sure you're taking advantage of the sale right now. It's the pinned comment down there. Check out everything you get at least and see if it's right for you. Heck, worst case scenario, you try it out for a month and then you cancel and there's no hard feelings either way. So make sure you check it out. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market, and click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.